I'm live. I want to welcome everybody to Saturday Cup of Joe. We're going to have a great show for you guys today. Some of you guys are thinking, what the heck is going on with the link? Well, I think YouTube and Google has changed, but no worries. If you're in our group, if you had on our email list, if you go back to the website, you're going to see link number 2 to grab, which is a YouTube link that you can see us watching live. So with that being said, that's what you can do. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. It's been a crazy week for me. I stayed up until like 11:30 last night, shocker, with a bunch of my friends here in Dallas who came to see me. They're here for fantasy football. And so when you get old and you have kids, there's no time to be staying up all night, you know? So anyway, today I'm glad you guys have joined us. I am not streaming from, what is it? Periscope today because I totally forgot to get on. So, oh well. That's just what it is. So if you got the link here, then you're good to go. Bill Walsh is not with us yet. I think he's probably still sleeping. He probably has the information overload hangover. And so I just want to make sure that you guys realize he is still with the show, but he'll probably pop in here in a minute, all right? So we've got a lot of people buzzing in on Facebook and all that. I guess they're ready to see our guest. Speaking of our guest today, this is the awesome guy that I met at the, what was that? The event years ago.
Breakout.
We were all sitting at the front row doing our thing, and that was an event that I would say had made us big dogs, you know. So with that being said, guys, I want you to welcome Mr. Mike Heath on the show. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? You said it, man. 11:30, like 10 o'clock rolls around, I'm dead to the world. I got my 1-year-old at home. It's not happening after 10 o'clock. I can't grind it out like I used to. I'm not Rymac up in here, you know. I can't do that.
Last night, man, we had it going, you know, 10 o'clock, 11. I'm done. I got to show them one. I can't do this. So if everyone noticed, I have my Phony Romo jersey on. Tonight, we're going to see the Cowboys in preseason with the Vikings. And
nice.
We'll see what happens with that. But, you know, don't hate me because I bought this jersey last year for a bet I lost. So I'm still, you know, dealing with that.
Well, Lem told me before the show he's a diehard Vikings fan now, so don't let him lie to you.
I love it. So, guys, what we're going to do today, we're going to talk with Mike, and we're going to catch up with him. It's been a while, and I'm going to tell you right now, here's a guy that knows a lot about social media. He knows about marketing. He knows how getting clients. He knows how to get these clients conversions. And sometimes if I ever had a Facebook question, I would chime in and ask a question. And this dude's like, bing, he's right there, you know. Sometimes you can't do that with people. But, you know, with Mike, he's a good guy. And, of course, you've watched, if you've been in our group, I've asked David Slosh, why should people be watching this today? Because it said Mike's a badass. And he knows what he's talking about, and he's funny. I'm like, yes, that is true. So anyway, Mike, man, where are you calling from today? Where are you? Let us know where you are in the world.
Dude, I am down here in not-so-hot Columbia, South Carolina, actually. Man, it seems like fall came on early this year. We woke up this morning, it's like 65 degrees outside. I'm like, damn, turn the heater on.
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
cold outside. But, yeah, I'm down here in Columbia just doing my thing. And that's the great thing about, man, these Facebook ads. You can do it from anywhere. You know, manage these people. I got clients all over the world now. And
right.
Just being able to rock it out is so awesome. So awesome.
Goodness. So let's step back a little bit because, you know, straight out of high school, what did you want to do when you grew up?
Man, straight out of Compton, right? Man, I was, oh my God, straight out of high school. I was the most naive person in the world, man. Let me tell you, I thought that the only thing you could do in college is major in business. And so I was like, so I'll major in business, and then I'll major in a foreign language so I can do foreign language business. That's what I'll do. I'll be that guy. So I'm looking into it, and then I found out like, no, you can do so much more stuff. You can major in like Spanish, and you can major in
Right.
arts, and you can major in. So I was going to be a computer animator. I
Wow.
almost went to. I got a scholarship to Savannah College of Art and Design, and I was going to be a computer animator. Didn't work out. Changed my mind at the last minute. Then I was going to be a primary school teacher. Changed my mind at the last minute. Now I have my degree in psychology and social work, and as you can see, I'm doing everything I can with those degrees. Crazy. It's crazy how life takes you. It's not what I want to do, It's just wherever life takes me, and this just happened to be the thing that it was. I ended up working at the DMV of all places for 5 years,
What?
and yeah,
Seriously?
I
Oh,
worked at the DMV for 5 years. I was in IT up there at the DMV and helped people, write the software that you use to register your driver's license and all that crap. 5 years I did that and decided screw it. And like many people, I think I found the Warrior Forum. That was my leap into the thing, and I found the 4 hour work week, and I found all that stuff, and I was like, you know what, let's do it. And
wow. Just like that, eh?
just like that. Yep. Quit my job in 2011, and so here we are.
Man, that's amazing story. Going back because I do remember seeing you one day. You posted like you had some kind of computer that you were building or taking apart, and I was like, "Where's that coming from?" I didn't know he can do that stuff. Is that like a hobby, or do you do that often, or were you just trying to build a supercomputer?
I was just trying to build a supercomputer, man. Like I'm one of those guys. Like, here's the real deal, man. There's a lot of people like me. What I mean is like there's a lot of people that are a jack of all trades, right?
Right,
You know a little bit about a whole lot of stuff, but the problem with that is that won't get you anywhere. Knowing a little bit about a lot means that you're not an expert in a lot of things, and
right,
it really limits you, man. And so, I used to, do computer repair. I used to do tech support. I used to build computers for people. I used to do websites and SEO and all that stuff. And at one point, I had a menu of services, that was like that long, and you could pick and choose whatever you wanted. And so I do know a lot about a little bit about a lot of stuff. But man, I found I had to specialize. I had to get specific, and that's what's really been awesome for me. The last couple of years, is just drilling down into what I need to be doing.
I think a lot of us who have started our foundation of our business really don't think about that because we have a menu, a list of services that we want to give out there, but you really have to figure out what you're really good at or what your company is focusing on because that would be hard, especially if you're a 1 or 2 man operation,
Yep.
That's important. I'm glad you mentioned that. Wow. So let's get back to where you are in South Carolina. How many main other marketers are around you, and has that ever threatened you, or did you just ignore that, or how did that work for you?
Well, man, like when I got started in the industry, I found out I live in the same city as Rymac. You guys know who he is.
Right.
I live in the same city as Robert Stukes. You know who
Right.
he is. Ex Daredevil Marketing right there. And
Right.
you guys probably know they broke up and had it out. But I live here with them, and that's intimidating, man. I'm in the same city with like this guy who's like raking in millions. Like,
Right.
let me tell you a story. I talked to Rymac back when he was in Sumter, and he
Oh,
was trying to sell SMS marketing to local restaurants. That's
right.
when I first talked to Rymac, and now years down the road, he's doing all what he's doing, and I don't even know what all he's doing. He's doing so
Right.
much, and it was never intimidating because I hung out with him a few times. Everyone is so friendly, man. Everyone is so open and friendly, and they're like, when you meet someone like that in person, they'll just start spilling their guts, man. They'll give you all their stuff, and it's not awkward, it's not forced, it's not weird. It's just like, hey, man, let's help each other. Like I told Rymac, I was like, dude, I'm going after some dentists. He's like, all right, man, I won't run any ads for dentists in Columbia. I'm like, sweet, man, thanks, appreciate that.
Right.
You know, that's all it takes, man. Just get to know people. You know,
Right.
connect with people, and man, people will take care of you as long as you take care of them, man. That's
That
what
is
it's
so
all
awesome.
about.
That is so awesome. Yeah, because sometimes when we have those big names in our city, you're like going, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Because we have Becker here in Dallas, you know?
Yep.
Everyone think, oh, I'm not going to do anything because Becker's going to do that. Why would you do that?
Right.
You know, Becker's not going to hit every market. I mean,
Yeah.
he might, who cares? But
who cares?
You know,
There's still room. There's still room for me. There's still, hey, if there's still room for me when you're operating, then we're good, man. We're good.
Exactly, man. It's crazy. Wow. So that's good to know. I mean, going back to what you're saying, those guys are good dudes, man. And I can see that happen, especially with Rymac too, you know, being there with you and saying, hey, I'm about to go after a certain industry. And he's like, okay, I won't run anything from that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's all about collaboration or, you know, just getting to know them because those guys, they spill their guts to a lot of things they say. You know, they'll give you lots of tips and hints, and it's amazing what these guys are doing, you know. So that is awesome, man. Wow. So let me ask you this. From the breakout event, you know, I want to go back a little bit because that's like one of those parts. I think I'm just thinking for myself and the guys over there, it's like a building part for me. That's what kind of made me go to the next level. What was your take from that, you know? Event,
dude, the breakout event was like it was my breakout. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. When I was at breakout, I had about 8 or 9 SEO clients,
right?
And they were paying me about $400 a month each. It wasn't bad money, but it wasn't good money. And while I was at breakout, my business kind of fell apart because I wasn't there to manage the stuff that was happening. And that's one of the things where it really like hit home, you know, like I got to make some changes and, you know, screw it. I'm here. I might as well do that. So I still have my yellow legal pads sitting on my shelf from the breakout event. You know, they handed those out. And I still got my yellow legal pad. And I look at that almost every day and think about what I can do. And it just helped me realize, like, I got to get specific. I got to know what I'm doing because all these guys that are talking at breakout weren't like, oh, I do a little bit of this, I do a little bit of this, I do a little bit of this, right? Like Colin Terrio up there talking about copywriting, Ben Adkins up there talking about systems and funnels, you know, Don Wilson up there talking about Facebook ads, Robert Stooks talking about niche marketing and finding advertising opportunities. Like these guys were experts at that specific thing, and that was like, man, that was such an eye opener, man. That like slap me in the face, you know. I got to get my stuff together. Yep.
I tell you what, man, I've been to a lot of events, and I think that event was the one that I developed carpal tunnel because I was writing so many notes and I was getting tuned in. I mean, something about that event, man, just really opened up my eyes too.
Yep.
I totally feel you on that. And I've talked to several people from that event. And they're all like, man, that was a nice event and how they did that. And now,
that was awesome. Yep.
When you're talking about being up there talking about funnels and things like that, it hits home now because I didn't really remember what Ben was all talking about, but I know it was systems. And I'm thinking, oh, that's what he's talking about. It just hit me now. Yep. And I was like, oh, okay. That's amazing, man. So
I think, you know, it was a smaller event too. It was not one of these, you know, super mega events. And I think that was really cool too. It helped me get to know a lot of people, you know, like you and Ben and Colin. And it was just really cool to be there with all those guys.
Awesome, really. Awesome. So when did you know that you wanted to start doing marketing? After you got out of after you were doing the DMV, when did you let's go from there.
When I quit my job, I figured I had to do something, right?
Oh. Well, let's step back. You just got up.
No. Well, let's. I mean, so here's the deal. You know, I found the Warrior Forum. I was like, if I can make $1,000 a day sitting in my pajamas, I'm gonna do that. So, you know, I launched a couple products. I made probably about $10,000 in a few months.
Right.
I met up with some amazing marketers like Andy Fletcher and Colin Terrio way back in the day, and just kind of surrounded myself with more successful people than me and let them just tell me. Like I joined a couple masterminds. Remember those Skype masterminds back in the day, man. You pay like a monthly fee for a Skype mastermind. That was pretty cool. And I joined a couple of those, and I just realized early on that I have to do, surround myself with people that are doing better than I am,
Right.
and learn from the best. And so I launched a few info products, and I started doing a few websites for people, and I realized like this is where it's at, man. And I had, I think, one client when I quit my job, and just went from there. Just had to sink or swim, basically.
That is amazing, man. That's good stuff to hear, because some people, they get to that point where they're like, okay, I really want to commit to this. I know if I have enough time to go out and get clients, I can build a business,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then again, there's that paycheck you have with having a job.
Yep.
And then you're like, I don't know about this. I'm very comfortable with that. And it really takes someone to talk to and be with around to let them tell you, man, you really don't need that paycheck. Go out and build your business. It'll be the best thing ever. Right. And I was on a show the other night that these guys were talking about how lonely this internet marketing business can be, and how do you get over obstacles when you're hitting a, one of those deals in the road. And I have hit some myself before. There's been months I've had great months and bad months, but that's part of the game. But I know that I have a support group that I can go to. That sounds bad, doesn't it? A support group. But it's really not a support group, but it's a mastermind group that you can go to.
It's a support group, man.
That's true.
Call it what it is. Like, being an entrepreneur is a lonely freaking thing. There's nobody holding my feet to the fire. There's nobody telling me I have to do this, I have to do that. It's completely like I have to be self-motivating. So I'm not that great at motivating myself. So what do I have to do? I got to find people who will support me, who will help me to do that, who will, just be around me, so I can count on those people to not tell me what to do, but keep me on my toes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's been the whole difference, is having that, because it's a lonely thing, man. You just sit here like I'm sitting here. I'm in my man cave / baby center, and you can see my bounce thing behind me. There's no one here. This is how it is during the week. There's nobody here, and I got to just grind it out. And it's lonely and it's hard, and don't let anyone convince you that it's not, man. That's the biggest mistake you can make, is thinking that it's going to be easy, because that's how most people fail. Yep. I
heard a lot of people saying, I quit my job to do marketing because it sounded like a good job and it seemed like it would be easy. I'm like, oh, brother, it is not even where close to being easy, man. When you have the family looking at you going, this needs to be paid, or we need to get this, or you know what I mean? There's so many things. So, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. I love that, you have to reach out to other people who's in the industry and that are doing it and really get them.
I would recommend that too. Like, if you're starting out, like, find a group to join. There are so many like internet marketing groups out there. I would recommend finding some of those. And then not only that, like, find some of the ones that you click with, and find some people in there that you click with, and make some friends online, like make some real friends. And that's been the biggest thing for me since starting my business, is finding real people that I can trust, like Lim and like Bill Hugel and Colin and
great
man. They're great. Bill is awesome. And like, not only that, like, not only will you know those people and have, you can look up to them, you can ask questions, they can ask questions of you. Not only that, but that can be a great source of clients for you, JV stuff. And so get out there and network, just like you would hustling for a 9-to-5 job, or if you needed to sell advertising or whatever, just network. That's what it's all about.
Wow. So let's get into this, because I'm sure all my guests are like, come on, Lim, ask this man some questions. We want some knowledge. And I'm like, hey, I got to know the whole story here, Not all of us just wanted to jump into this.
I know, right?
Tell us a little bit about your, I know you're in the gym industry, which is a very hard industry. I think it is, because number one, they do their own style of marketing, and somehow you have tapped into that. And I'm just kind of interested myself. I've always been wanting to ask you that, but since we're here on Cup of Joe, let's ask you live. How did you get into the gym industry?
Man, I'm gonna be completely 100% honest with you. I got my first gym client cold calling. I was cold
Whoa!
calling.
Yes.
Cold calling. I was sitting here. I had my phone book out, man. I was sitting here. I was cold calling just like day after day, hundreds of calls a day. I would hit up to 200 calls a day, man. Just sitting here cold calling, cold calling. And at the time, I was doing SEO, right? So I was cold calling these people, and I was like, dude, you got to get on this. And so I met this gym owner guy, and I was like, man, you got to do this SEO thing. I ended up redesigning his website, doing his SEO. But then after breakout, right, I was like, you know what? We should do Facebook ads. And I met an awesome guy. You probably know him. His name is Darren Monroe.
Oh, my boy, shouts out to Darren. I love it.
Chicago represent. I met Darren, and I'd known Darren for a while, and he was like, dude, I told him, I said, I need to specialize, man. I need to get something. He's like, you need to be doing Facebook ads. At the time, 2013, the end of 2013 there, it was prime time for Facebook ads. It was like the Wild West,
Right.
And I told my fitness client, I was like, dude, you got to run some Facebook ads, but here's the thing, it's going to cost you a lot more money. I was charging him $400 a month for SEO.
Right.
And I said, sit down, man, because Facebook ads, $1,500 a month. He's like, what? $1,500 a month? And I was nervous as crap, man. He'd been my client for about a year and a half, and I didn't know if he'd do it or not. And he said, I said, I know. I said, I was the worst salesman. I was like, I know it's a leap of faith, but let me do this for you. Let me do this. And so I used my newfound knowledge, right? And I went out. We ran some Facebook ads. In 6 days, he made $4,554 and picked up 23 new clients from Facebook ads. In 6 days. 6 days.
6 days, just like that.
And
I bet he was like, okay, give me some more, wasn't he?
Yeah. I made a testimonial video, you best believe, right after that. And man, I just used that knowledge to I recently it's not always the same either. Like the stuff that worked then doesn't work now.
Doesn't work now. Yeah, right.
We always got to evolve and do better. So the last campaign I did for the same client, we got 70 clients in 10 days.
Wow.
So it's nuts. It's, the stuff works, and it's just one of those things where you're right, man. The fitness industry is like so much different. The stuff you do for fitness doesn't work at all for like spas, salons, barber salons. Like it doesn't work at all. It's such a weird industry, but like you said, man, I tapped into it. I learned how it works, and so that's mainly what I focus on now. I also do other local businesses. I have a whole proven system, sales funnel thing for local businesses. I do online stuff too. So no matter what kind of business you have, I can hook you up. But fitness is definitely where it's at, getting those leads in the door. And now, we've expanded my system. So now I teach you how to close the leads, because a lot of gym owners don't know how to close leads. A lot of business owners don't know how to close leads. So you got to tell them how to do that. So now that's something you can charge them for. Now I can record the calls. A lot of that stuff you couldn't do a couple years ago, but you can do now. It's really cool.
Man, this is good stuff. And I want all you guys that join us right now. We're on with Mike Heath. Thank you guys for joining us. And man, this is awesome, man. And you've been dealing with the gym owner stuff for a while, since breakout, you say, so that's a couple of years. That's a good year, that's wow. That's for a while. So it's not something you just jumped into. You've actually have had success with it and had to tinker it a little bit and do more. So that's amazing. So guys, if you missed it, he's actually helping gym owners get leads, and now he's teaching gym owners how to close them too.
And that's the real deal, man. You gotta, because a lot of gym owners, what do they deal with? They deal with tire kickers who come in for a free session, who don't want to sign up. They deal with people who are not willing to commit to anything. They deal with a lot of freebie seekers, all these people that just want the free thing. So you got to get over all that. And what we've developed is a system that allows the gym owner to get paid in advance before people even show up, and then show up for the whole promotion. And then the gym staff closes them. It's smooth, man. It's real slick. You got to see this thing in action. It's freaking
Wow.
awesome.
That's amazing. So since Facebook has changed and it will continue to change, why do you think they changed so damn much?
They're growing up, man. They're growing up, and like in 2013, it was the Wild West. You could put an ad out there for a half-naked woman to a squeeze page with nothing on it but an email address, and that worked. And nowadays, you're gonna get your account banned for that. They'll even go back and look at what you used to run, and ban you for stuff that happened years ago. Now, I mean, they're really cracking down. So, I'm proud of that, man. I've never had my account banned. I've never had my account turned off, and it's because I do things the right way, like you're supposed to do them. And I've even run Teespring campaigns and all that, and I'm still good to go. So it's just one of those things where I have a system where it's not like you have to be careful, and it's not about like skirting the rules. A lot of people, man, a lot of these internet marketing programs talking about like, how to get around Facebook, how to circumvent the rules, how to do like black hat, gray hat stuff. And it's not about that, man. It's just doing things that are going to get results and being smart about your advertising. And a lot of people aren't. A lot of people just want the shortcuts, but the shortcuts are only going to work until they don't. So, if you want an actual business with actual revenue and actual clients who get great results and care about the work you do, then you got to go the straight and narrow and just do it the right way, and stop looking for the shiny stuff, man.
That's good. For a while we used to hear a lot about posting on Craigslist and how great that traffic was, but I think they hired a lot of experts, man, and there's no getting around them anymore. I don't care if you come out with a Craigslist product, it better be about the proper way of doing ads on there or getting it, because there's no getting around it, man.
No, I still, I was looking at Craigslist last night because I'm looking for a house cleaning person, but man, the ads, the ads on there, man, are just like super legit now. It's no more of this spam. Excuse me, spam crap. You can't do that anymore. You just can't.
They figured it out, man. They figured it out.
And it's just like, man, I'm going to tell you, everybody that right now is jumping on Pinterest and Instagram and Periscope, Meerkat, Blab, all of that crap. Anything that comes out right now in the internet marketing industry is talking about how to make millions on Instagram and how to make millions on Periscope. Man, just skip it. Skip it. No offense. No offense if y'all are coming out with stuff, but it's crap. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. It's all a bunch of crap. Just do it the right way.
Right, that's true. And if you get the budget from the clients, which you'll need anyway, it really doesn't matter. You need to do it the right way because you're dealing with their account. You can't be that guy that screwed up their account. I would hate to be that person.
Yeah, man, you've got their credit card. They're putting food on their family's table from the stuff you're doing, and you can't mess around with that. Like I don't do any black hat links for SEO stuff.
Right.
When I used to do SEO, because what if their site got blacklisted the next day, man, and then nobody finds them? Where does that leave them? So I can't, you got to be ethical.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
That is true. Let's go back to cold calls real quick, because I always preach cold calls to everyone. Everybody's like, nah, I'm getting away from that. I'm just going to email. Emails work. Don't get me wrong. But if you really want to talk to the source, I'm just like, hey, it's the fastest way, And how do you give over? Because I think most people are afraid that they're going to get sniped by asking a question or something. How do you get over that? I don't care. Give me the no real now, or how do you get over that when you're making that cold call, man?
You just gotta let me tell you, when I first started making cold calls, I would procrastinate. I would walk around the house and be like, okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Here's how I'm gonna say it, and I rehearse. But none of that matters. Like, you can do that for 8 hours a day and not get a sale because you're not talking to anybody. So you just gotta pick up the phone, and once you hit the third call, you're fine. You can make 100 calls. So just make 3 calls. I mean, that's all you got to do, and You know, back when I was doing cold calls, I had all these scripts and little, you know, tactics and strategies and all this stuff. And none of that works, man. You just got to be like, it's good to have an idea what you're going to say, but
Right.
at the end of the day, man, you just got to be yourself
That's true.
and just, you know, just be yourself and talk to people like they want to be talked to. You know,
Man,
don't be a don't be a salesman. Yeah.
that's true. I think the best way to do it is if you're afraid, just get on three-way with a buddy and start making some bets. You know, see if that person's going to enter or if that business owner's not there. But if they do become available, what we're going to do next? You know what I mean?
You know what I used to do? I used to get on Google Hangouts and do cold calls live because
See?
that would force me to do it.
That would force you to do it.
Yep. I had people watching me because what were those people doing? Those people were procrastinating, making their own cold calls. So I can use that to my advantage to force me to do it. You know, they're learning from me, so I might as well do something, right?
Yeah, right. So I got a question here. I got a buddy is asking, would you do a simple cold call? What are you asking these people when you do cold calls? Because it's like the best thing, man, you know. And I'm gonna let you take it. I'm gonna do my version, but go ahead.
So when I cold call somebody, I just basically I know I do a little bit of research first. You know, it's not
Thank
just like dialing the phone and hoping. If you go to your library, you can get free like an Info USA kind of thing where you can look up stats on these businesses, get their phone numbers, find out how much they're making, and do a little recon, man. See what they're doing, see what their website looks like, and see what you can offer them, and get in a conversation. So bonus points if you can find a contact for the marketing guy or you know the person who's going to handle all this and just say, hey, my name is Mike, you know, I'm right here in Columbia, I own a business, I was wondering if I could talk to the person in charge of marketing.
Yep.
And they're going to say, what's this about? And I said, I just want to talk about marketing with your marketing guy. Like, it's not like I want to sell you a website, you know,
Right.
or I want to do this. Like, I'm just making some calls, trying to get to know some people around town and seeing, you know, what I can do for you. So that's all it is. And 9 out of 10 times, they're going to send you to a voicemail, and that's cool. You just keep calling back.
Yep.
A lot of people underestimate the amount of times that you need to call back somebody. You know, you need to probably call back, touch people about 6 or 7 times. You can't just give up. You know, if they don't answer the phone or if they send you to voicemail, you got to keep calling, keep calling. Follow it up with an email. Say, hey, my name is Mike. We spoke on the phone, or, you know, I'm sorry I missed you the other day. I'm a new business here in Columbia. I'm just looking to make some contacts. I would appreciate if we could talk for 10 minutes one day. Just put a time limit on it so it's not like I'm going to take up an hour of your time, and just make it as non-threatening as you can be and say, hey, my name is Mike. When you get them on the phone, I own this business here in Columbia. I'm just looking to make a few contacts, you know, and I was wondering if we could talk about your marketing for a little bit. Like, what are you guys doing? What's working? What's not working? Like, I'm not trying to sell anything.
Right.
I'm trying to find out, what are you guys doing? What's working? What's not working? If you have something that's not working and I can help you with that, then we should have a meeting and talk about it. If I can't help you with that, I know somebody who can. So
Boom.
I'm going to pass on your details. Give me your phone number, and I will get in touch and let you know when I got somebody that can solve your problem. So you are now their problem solver. You know, the more stuff you can take off of their shoulders, the better. So build a relationship. You know, I know everyone talks about that. Everyone's like, build a relationship, and it sounds, you know, like it's hard to do, but
Right.
just be the person that can solve a.
Can you still hear me, Mike? Can you still hear me?
Hold on, my microphone went out. Repeat what you
Okay,
said.
I was about to say. I was like, but you know, it's almost like the first dance. You know,
It is.
you see that girl across the room, junior high, whatever it is, or high school or elementary. There's no way you're going to get to know this chick unless you go over there and talk to her.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
And it's all about networking. To be honest with you, that's what it is.
Yep.
You know, so
one of the things I used to do is Chamber of Commerce has these breakfasts here in town. I've gotten lots of clients off of those. Just go to the breakfast, you know. And the big thing about networking in person is to kind of forget your elevator pitch You
Yep.
know, don't talk about you know, people are going to ask you what you do, and that's fine. You know, say I run Facebook ads for local business, helping get leads and close them. That's what I do. What do you do? You know, what's working for your business right now? What's the biggest thing that you're doing? Find out like the one big thing. Like, don't go in there and say, "Well, what do you do? What's that like? You know, what kinds of stuff do you sell?" Like, no, just find out like one big thing, one big takeaway, and that goes back to my earlier point of specializing in a specific thing. Now you can go and say, what's the big thing that you're having a problem with? What's the big thing that you're having success with? And they'll tell you. And if you can help with that, help with that. You know?
Very nice. Very nice. You know, a lot of people get stuck on that part, you know, and I'm glad you said you used to do Google Hangouts and record it because that was like how I started. I would always go, okay, I'm going to record myself just to see what some of these people on the other end of the phone are saying and what I said. And I was going to go back and see how I screwed up. But it got to the point where it was different every time. You know, it's never going to be the same scenario.
Nope. The only time it's the same is when they're not interested and that you get a no. That's the no is the only time it's going to be the same, or when they don't answer. You know, but when you're having conversations, it should be completely organic. You shouldn't be spouting off some, "Hi, my name is Mike, and I'm calling from Columbia, South Carolina, and I have an amazing opportunity for business owners in my area." Like, no, you don't want to do that.
I get those phone calls all the time. I'm like, really? Don't you want to know me first? Oh, wow. So that's awesome, man. So right now, your main focus is Facebook ads. Is that what it is? Marketing?
So yeah, like I've got my Facebook ads business. That's mainly what I'm doing. I operate these days a lot on referrals. So ask me about that later. But what I do is I have a lot of clients all over the world. I've got a client in the UK. I've got one here in Colombia. I've got one out in Hollywood, actually, and just Seattle. Trying to think of all the places. Like a lot of places, I've had clients in Australia. I know a guy that's doing stuff in Romania with Facebook ads. Like a lot of people are making this work, and that's just goes to show that it can work anywhere you are. I've got a whole process, a whole system, and it just works. And you know, we can do ads for any kind of industry, and it's just been a huge blessing to learn and continue learning. You know, like you said earlier, with all the changes Facebook is making, just being able to go out there and you know, be 100% certain and say, yeah, I can help you out with that. Just like my boy David Schloss has been lately, man, just killing it with Facebook.
Hashtag David Schloss, y'all. He's gonna love that.
Hashtag David Schloss. He's been a huge inspiration because, I mean, like you talking about Breakout, like Breakout was important for a lot of us. I think, you know, and you know, he was one of them. And I think, man, just having that time and just learning what you need to do, man. It's all about figuring out what your goals are, figuring out what it's going to take to get there, and just doing the steps. That's all it is. It's nothing exciting. It's nothing sexy about it, man. It's just doing the work, putting in the work.
Yeah, that's funny because I think you were right behind us, and I sat next to him. We stayed in our same spot every day.
We did. Yeah, we did.
Oh my goodness, yeah, man. And there's a lot going on. Wow, you know, just a lot going on. But yo, David is something else. I can see him now because sometimes if I have issues, you know, I go to David and I'm like, man, I can't get this and that. He's like, quit whining, you little Mitch. You know what I mean? Get off your butt and do something. I'm like, okay. And then he'll start reconstructing me. He'll start, you know, redirecting me. And I'm like, yeah, you know. So, yeah, man.
That's the thing is like getting people that are gonna tell it to you straight, man. That's worth more than gold right there. Yes, people that won't lie to you.
They won't lie to you. You know, it's funny because I remember Ben telling us in Memphis that no one is going to come and save you. And it's true. You really can't just sit there and wait and think someone's going to save you. you have to go out there and get it, man. And you have to do that at all possible reasons. You've got to do it.
Yep.
Other you're pretty much stuck and sunk, you know. So it's sad that some of us will relax a little bit and, you know, we'll get down and never ever try to reach out. But I think it's so important to reach out to someone because this industry is tough and it will eat you alive if you're not, you know, pushing forward. And you have to, because there's so many people now that are coming into the game, and you really have to stay on your A game and keep pushing, because other than that, you're gonna be left to the dust, you know.
Yep.
Cool. Wow. Man, I haven't even got to all of my questions. We've just been doing what we do, you know. So let's talk about the baby and how it's changed you and your business, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So before the baby, I thought that I was doing pretty well. You know,
Right.
I was making a few thousand a month. I was happy.
Right.
Wife was happy. We're going on trips. We're taking vacations. We don't do none of that anymore, do we?
I love it.
So, you know, I was kind of like panic mode. I was like, I got 9 months to get my shit together before this kid comes along. And it didn't really happen like that for me. I didn't end up getting my stuff together because I spent too long analysis paralysis. You know? I was sitting there trying to figure out what I should be doing, going in about 5 different directions.
Right.
Like, guys, you got to realize that where I'm at now isn't where I was 30 days ago, isn't where I was 60 days ago, isn't where I was a year ago. Everything changes, and it can change in an instant. So, like Lem said, man, never get comfortable. You know, don't slack, because your business can fall apart or it can thrive. Yep. You just got to make sure you're making that happen. And so I had about 9 months. I was like, okay, I got to get my stuff together, and it didn't happen. And then the baby came, and it was kind of a blessing, because not only did I have this, you know, beautiful, healthy baby girl, but I also had about 9 weeks that Allison was at home with me, and I couldn't really do much work. And that was a blessing, because I was like, you know what? I didn't have any clients at the time. I had like maybe 2 or 3. Right. I didn't have a lot of work to do, and I didn't have a lot of money coming in, but that was okay, because I needed to step back. I needed to reevaluate what I was doing. And, you know, right now on my calendar over here, I have 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. blocked off. Like, that's family time. Right. You know, and it made me rethink my priorities, man. So after the baby, you know, my weekends are off limits right now, except for you. I make exceptions.
I know it, man. I know it. Hey, I want to tell you guys, I asked Mike during the year, between last year and now, hey, you going to come on my show? And the dude's like, man, I can't cut it right now, Lim. I'm busy. I knew he was. He had a baby, you know?
And that's the thing, man. It took me, like, and I wouldn't have been a good guest a year ago. Like, it wouldn't have been a good thing. So, you know, it's good now, and I'm thankful for that, but it changes my life. And, you know, I know you have kids. You know how it is. You've got grown kids that are in high school, and that's a whole different challenge right there, I'm sure.
Like from 3 o'clock on, I'm in carpool line. You can't mess with me. I can't do anything. It's hard, but I'm committed, you know? Yeah. I'm in the 5th grade again now. Again. I passed 4th, now I'm in the 5th. I'm doing good. You know? So I get it, man. I get it. Wow. Yep. But yeah, that little one, man, I know you love her and you adore her. I see the pictures, man. You guys, she is growing, and she's doing pull-ups now. And
oh, man. Yeah, she got the pull-ups.
Wow. That's good stuff. So where do you see, I know you see a lot of this Periscope and a lot of the blab that's coming. Mike, how would you incorporate that into your business? I mean, I don't know, is that something you would do with your clients or teach them how to do? What's your intake? Because right now, this is like a little mastermind. I know you're good at this. So how would you incorporate that into your business, or would you?
Well, you know, I see people like Dr. Ben doing it, you know, really ramping up the Periscope stuff, doing a scheduled show. If I was going to do a Periscope or a Blab or a Meerkat or a, you know, whatever, I would have a scheduled show at a certain time, certain days, so that, you know, because Periscope is like, I don't know about you guys, I'm busy like a lot of the time. Lem, you're in carpool line from 3 o'clock. You know, you can't just, you know, get that notification on your phone and pick it up and go, oh, I got a Periscope I got to be on. No, you can't do that. And other entrepreneurs out there doing SEO and busting their butt, they might drop everything to get on a show with you, but chances are they won't. So if you want to build an audience, like you're not like one of the big guys on Periscope right now is Grant Cardone.
Mhm.
He's on there. He drops in. Like he doesn't have a scheduled thing that I know of, but he drops in and he kills it because he's got a lot of followers and they love him to death. But
Right.
if you're not Gary Vaynerchuk and you're not Grant Cardone, then you got to kind of schedule it out, build your audience, and I would have a squeeze page and run Facebook ads. Surprise, surprise.
Boom! There we go.
To that show. So get people like I would treat it just like a podcast, man. Len was saying he didn't get on as part of his strategy, his Periscope. What I would do is make it part of your podcast. A lot of local news stations have Periscopes that are pointing at the anchor desk. And it's like a behind the scenes news thing. And that's really cool because a lot of people like to watch that. They like to see what the anchors are doing behind the scenes. So that's what I would do is just have a show talking about what I'm doing behind the scenes, some sort of theme about it. You're interviewing entrepreneurs, you're teaching SEO, whatever you're doing, but just have a show around that. Get people on your email list, promote it just like you would everything else, man. Don't make it a spur of the moment thing. I would just treat it like it's any other scheduled thing. Yep, that's what I would do.
That's nice. That's good information. That's good. But the behind the scenes cracked me up. I was in the carpool line yesterday, and my buddy Owen, he scheduled it, and he was doing a video shoot for his new product launch that's coming out for his studio. And it was funny sitting there just, wasting time watching him. It was entertaining because I was kind of, messing with him and rating video guys and all of us just trying to give him a hard time. But he was serious. He was going, and then he would ask us questions. Is that good, guys? We're like, yeah, that was a good one. Keep going. So, yeah, man, it's one of those, if it's scheduled, it's the perfect way. Spare the moment. I didn't think it worked spare the moment because I've seen a lot of guys try to do that and it's just not working for them,
Yeah, and the thing is, like with Periscope and all these things, people can ask you questions in real time. And the best thing, if you build your audience, like let's say you got 100 people on your Periscope, what you can do is say, hey guys, I know a lot of you guys do SEO out there. What's the biggest problem you're facing in SEO right now? And so some of them are going to say like, man, I have a hard time building links. I have a hard time getting places to build links. Right. They're going to look at, I have a hard time getting into the local press. I have a hard time indexing my links. I have a hard time in the Google Maps pack. Like whatever all that is, you're going to find out what their pains are, and then you can sell them stuff based on that. So you can get like real live like problems and offer real live solutions. And that's a really kind of unprecedented thing, because email lists are notoriously non-responsive. And, so you got that live interaction, help people solve their problems real time, and give you great product ideas for how to help people out in your niche. And that's how I do it, for sure.
I'm going to tell you something that's kind of off the subject here. There's a guy here in town who does a lot of softball stuff, and you will not believe, by him just asking his audience questions, he has built a multi-million-dollar business by just asking his audiences a question on, what do you think about this? And then he'll do it. What do you think about that? And then he'll do it. And what do you think? I'm like, are you kidding me? And he's keeping everything specific and it's simple. And it's just ridiculous how that works out, because if you ask these guys, what's the biggest problem with this? You solve that problem for them. And you keep asking, they'll give you the answer, because everyone doesn't know the answer. I don't know all the answers, and someone might, they might not, they'll find out. Like you said before we started, we'll Google it. What is, oh, wow. Well, man, I'm going to keep this show short because we can keep going. I know that Mom Allison's going to come back home real quick, real soon. She's out doing her thing, and I know that's good for her. Right now. But, man, I appreciate you coming on here, bro. I know you're busy. You didn't have to, but I really do. I'm going to put you on the wall, my hero for the day, Mike Heath. Audience, man. The audience love what you're giving us today, because they've been kind of asking questions, and I had so many I couldn't ask them all, but This is great. If you had one thing to give to our guys before we go, to give to them, they're just trying to make their business better this year, and they're just like us. There's some of us are novice, some are experts, and some are just just wanting to think about it. What would you give them? Your biggest advice? What to do to get business to go further?
So I'm gonna give you guys my best tip, my best Facebook ads tip, and this is gonna be something that's gonna allow you to get more leads for cheaper, run better ads, get more ads approved, all that good stuff. When I run Facebook ads, one thing that I see a lot of people do when they run Facebook ads is they give away the whole thing in the ad. So if you're running an ad for a Facebook ads cheat sheet or an SEO cheat sheet, the ad says, come and get our SEO cheat sheet. Come and get our Facebook ad cheat sheet. And that's kind of weak,
Right.
The best thing to do with your Facebook ads is leave part of it behind the scenes. Drive your audience's curiosity. So if I said, instead of download our free Facebook ad cheat sheet, if I said, hey, come get our free Facebook ad cheat sheet, it has the #1 way to drive your CTR at least up 3%. So that drives curiosity. It's like it gives a specific benefit to getting your thing, And another way is to add curiosity to that. So for my fitness ads, like a lot of people make the mistake of saying, hey, come join our 28-day challenge. You'll burn 12 pounds and blah, blah, blah. What I say is our next class starts August 17th. Do you qualify? Click here to find out.
Drop the mic.
That's it right there. Getting people, what do people think? Well, of course I qualify. Right. But they're going to click to see anyway,
They are.
So you got to put some curiosity out there, put a bug in their bonnet, so they have to click it. They have to check it out. The point of Facebook ads usually is you're paying for clicks, right? So if you're going to pay for click, get that click. Don't put it all out there. Put it behind the scenes. Put it behind the curtain, so they got to click. I have landing pages doing this stuff that convert at over 60% with the strategy.
Really?
60%. Even in the business to business niche, where I'm advertising to business owners, 60%. Just driving that curiosity.
My goodness.
Yep. And if your people want to see that page that converts it over 60%, I'll give it to you. Just let me know. You can email it to your list, put it on your website, whatever you want to do. I'll show it to you, man.
That was my next question. Sometimes I guess, and I need that bio. I know you saw my message. I know you're busy, but I'm gonna need a bio because I'm gonna have your bio on my page here on the website at Started Cup of Joe, and we'll need to know how to reach out to you in whatever way you want us to, because I got a lot of guys who's loving what you're saying right now. So we gotta get us some Mike Heath. When was the last time you put a product out, man?
I put out a product a couple weeks ago. I did about a 2-hour webinar with my fitness expert buddy, Josh Smith. We talked about how to get more leads into your gym, how to close them. Just basically the A to Z of gym marketing in a webinar. You can find it on my page. If you go to rapidleads.co, you can find that. And I've got a few other products out that talk about how to get Facebook leads, how to advertise on Facebook. You can even join my coaching, get my done-for-you service. All that stuff you want. You can find there, and I'll send Lem the link here. He can put it out there for me.
Nice.
He's my buddy. He'll make sure you get it. And as a bonus, when people refer me to other people, I told you to ask me about this.
That's
later.
Right. I was going to ask you that. Yep.
So my biggest tip for referrals is give out a ridiculous reward. I give out $1,000 for everybody who refers somebody to my service. $1,000. I did it twice this week. I paid $2,000 this week, guys. Give out a ridiculous referral reward.
That is crazy. You need to make a couple of grand. Like, hey, you on Facebook market the best? I got the guy. Hey, your guy's doing wrong. You're like, no, you're doing wrong. You need to talk to this guy. Yep. I can hook you two up. Let me tell you.
Yep. I get more referrals from that than anything else I do. I tell you what. Yep. It's the best thing.
That's
so, yeah.
ridiculous. $1,000 referral, man. I love it. Well, Mike, man, I appreciate you coming on here. Guys, you heard it from the man. I told you he was good. I know you. If you missed this, you're dead to me. No, I'm just kidding. But this was amazing. And I know you have a group that I'm a part of, and I love the stuff you're sharing. I just smile every time you put something out new, and I'm like, look at this guy, man. Yeah, you're the real deal, man. I got to tell you, man, you are the real deal. Man. I take my hat off to you. Many blessings on your family. I know your baby girls are going to grow up, and then, you know, are y'all through? You going to get more, or what's going on with that?
Oh, no, we're done, man. We're done. It's out. It's over.
It's over.
It's done. I'm out. I tap out. Tap out.
I get it. Awesome. Good. So what was that website? They can go check that stuff out again one more time.
rapidleads.co.
All right, awesome, buddy. Thanks so much, man. And
thank you, Lem. I appreciate you, man.
No problem. Have a great day. And for all you viewers who are going back, looking for the replay, go to SaturdayCupOfJoe.com. Here comes the questions now. We got to go, y'all. If you have any questions with me, you can always go to the website and click to the right. You'll see message, and you can leave a voice message for me and tell me what's going on, or if you like the show, if you have any more questions, or how you can reach some other people. Visit us next week, same time, same place, with a different guest. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been awesome. This is amazing. I was starting to write down some stuff, but I remember I was like, hey, I can watch the replay. You know, I love that cold call session, man. I loved it. Anyway,
great stuff.
Guys, well, thank you. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, buddy. Thanks, man.
Later, man.